Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the Ladybird browser update for June 2025. It has been a lovely month in the project, as usual. A bunch of us have been on summer vacation, but things still got done, a bunch of things, and I want to tell you about some of them right now. The first thing we always do in these videos is thank our sponsors. Ladybird is funded entirely by sponsorships and donations from companies and individuals who care about the open web and they want us to build an independent implementation of it. So we're very grateful to all of our sponsors and donors. And if you're interested in becoming one yourself, check out ladybird.org. All right. So June 2025. In terms of raw numbers, we've seen 241 pull requests from, I think, 52 contributors. Yes. That was very close to the same activity as last month, which is really good. And the web platform tests is the second number that we like to talk about. Here we are down quite a bit, 3,455 new passing tests. That's quite a bit less than previous months, but this is completely expected because we have really exhausted the most low-hanging fruit here. And now it's a big grind with a lot of work where you don't get a lot of points for a lot of the work. But obviously, we have to keep grinding upwards anyway. And the point of this is not to have the most points, but really the point is to have a web-compatible engine, right? So it's fun to chase points and make the number go up. But it's even more fun to make a working product. And so we have to get used to not seeing the huge numbers so much anymore. But even so, we have 1.818 million passing tests right now. And that's really awesome. In context, this is what things looked like at the end of May. And if we just pop forward, we can see that Ladybird made a little progress. Everybody made a little progress. Actually, Servo made the biggest progress. If we toggle here, we can see that they actually made quite a big jump. And I think that's because they fixed one of the famous Chinese, Japanese, Korean text encoding tests, which gives a lot of points on web platform tests. And if we switched here to the version of this graph that excludes all the text encoding stuff, we can see that moving from May to June, the difference in Servo is smaller. So it was text encoding related, but it's nice that they went and fixed that so that it brings the numbers a little closer to each other on the big graph. But yeah, nothing terribly exciting here. Just moving forward, moving upward. If we look at history also, we can see that everything is trending up the way that it should. Flow has regressed a little bit, might just be instability, but everybody seems to be moving in the right direction generally. So that's really, really good. Now, for new features or new developments in Ladybird this month, local storage persistence is maybe my most favorite one because window.localstorage now actually persists between browsing sessions. This was a problem forever, is that you would go to some website and it would use local storage to save a bunch of stuff, thinking that it would be there if the browser restarts, but we just threw it away, treating it like more like session storage. But now local storage is persisted in a SQLite database in your home directory or wherever it's set up to store those things, and this is fantastic. So that's new this month. We've also added the geolocation API, so you can get GPS coordinates for the browser. Currently, we only return a fake GPS position in the middle of San Francisco, but work is ongoing to hook this up to operating system geolocation providers. And obviously, we're also building a permissions system so that the user can decide if they actually want to share their geolocation with this web page. And all that stuff. So that's coming as well. And then we've implemented more of these CSS logical aliases, which we're seeing a bit more use of on the web, which is interesting. So if you're not familiar, we have these properties like margin inline start. And this actually maps to another property depending on the direction of the text in the current context. So if you're in a top-down text context, this would be margin top. If you're doing left to right text, it would be margin left. And if you're doing right to left, it would be margin right. So it's sort of context-dependent edge nomenclature for CSS properties that you can use, and then it just resolves automatically to the right thing. So we're adding more, and we're supporting more and more of these. We've had them actually for a long time, but we hard-coded the left to right meaning of them, and now they actually look at the context and resolve correctly. This month, we've also implemented off-screen canvas, which is a JavaScript graphics API that doesn't require a canvas element. And of course, the big benefit of this is that you can do graphics off the main thread, like in a web worker. So this is really nice, and it also like builds on top of the existing canvas code. So there's a lot of nice code sharing and everything. Very, very cool. And this one is kind of fun. So a common question that we get is, when will Ladybird support Windows? And the thing is that because of resource constraints, we are not officially committing to anything here. We only have so many employees, so many resources, that we've said we're going to do Mac OS and Linux for the alpha in 2026. But the community is still making progress on a Windows port, which is super exciting. So we have a bunch of contributors who have been bringing this up and working hard on it. And it can now run our JavaScript test suite. And we can build, but not yet run the browser engine itself. So this is super cool. And we even have a Windows CI that we can now run if we suspect that a pull request might affect Windows. So this is really, really awesome. And it's great to see the community stepping up and like working towards Windows support. Because I know that it is something that a lot of people are interested in. It's just that we don't currently have the resources for it within the Ladybird nonprofit. So super awesome. And we are working, of course, with these contributors to make it easier for them to do this. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's do a quick demo of the browser so we can see where it's currently at. All right, so let's bring up Ladybird and take a look at where we currently are. First website I want to check out is The Spectator, a newspaper that recently started looking really good in Ladybird, I think. It's good performance, good layout. I don't see anything immediately obviously wrong, which is really cool. And I don't know, let's click on some story here just to get something, and we can see their paywall and everything showing up. Now I don't have an account here, so I can't actually log in, but I just like how all of these little things are kind of working right. Although I'm not completely sure. I need to compare it against another browser, but it feels like we're getting so close to good at just dealing with all these typical newspaper things. So that's really, really awesome to see. And then I mentioned the geolocation API. So let's just see if we can find a demo of that somewhere. And we will, I don't know, let's look at this one. Get the current position. So we can see here that it does give us a position, but it's just somewhere in the middle of San Francisco. It's not my actual position. And this is something that we will be improving going forward so that it can give you the real location after I agree to share that. And then I mentioned local storage. So a really nice thing that this enables is that I get to stay logged into Discord. So if I just open the Discord app here, I mean discord.com/app, then I can actually, I'm already logged in and I can continue my session here. So maybe I write something friendly in the Ladybird channel. See if text input actually works correctly. Why don't we write, well, hello friends, and then make a cat dog emoji. Hey, it worked. That's pretty cool. So it's a little wonky when you're typing. It has this automatic selection of all the text, but it actually does work to type and send messages, send emojis. We now stay logged into Discord even after the browser has been shut off. So super, super cool. And the final thing I wanted to look at was terminal.shop, because in the previous video, when I mentioned that the Primogen is one of our sponsors now, we visited his company website, terminal.shop, where they're selling coffee over SSH. And we had a problem, I think, with these numbers here, because they were supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and they were 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And the reason for that was that these are pseudo elements, and they have a CSS counter on them, and we just didn't support CSS counter incrementing on pseudo elements, but now we do, so we can see that these lines are correctly numbered here. And terminal.shop is actually looking pretty good. Until I click on API, apparently. Okay, here we go. So maybe there was something there I need to investigate. Some kind of content security policy thing. Cool. Okay, well, not right now, but we'll have to look at that later. All right. So yeah, those were just some random things I wanted to show you, just to give you a feel of where we are right now. Okay, so before we go, I just want to thank all the contributors in June. This is a list of everybody who had some kind of commit in the GitHub repository this month. Thank you all so much for working on Ladybird. And I hope you will come back next month and work on it even more. And of course, thank you, the viewer, the sponsor, the donor, the person who is just interested in Ladybird for some reason. I really appreciate that you come here and check out these updates. If you prefer text format, you can sign up for our newsletter on ladybird.org. Likewise, if you want to become a sponsor or a developer, even better, go to ladybird.org as well. You'll find everything on there. All right. See you all next month.